again, and welcome to the second episode of the StackCast. And we are here today with Algernon, who I may refer to as Al here, I've been told, with Trocador. Say hi, Al.
Hi Alexa, I'm Al from Trocador.app. It's a pleasure being here and meeting you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. So, to begin with, I'm only very surface level, maybe even a little less than that, familiar with Trocador as a service. Could you go ahead and kind of just give us the lowdown on what exactly it is that you do?
Sure. We're an exchange aggregator, actually an instant exchange aggregator. The thing is, suppose you don't want to use a centralized exchange like Binance or whatever, and you want to keep self-custody and all of that, but you need to swap a coin for another, and you don't really want to create an account and transfer to a centralized exchange and swap there and then transfer back to you. That's a lot of hassle. So that's where instant exchanges do their thing. So you don't need to create an account. You just specify what you want to do, and they'll tell you an address. You send the amount you want to convert to that address and receive in your other address the coin you want. That's what an instant exchange does. So what we do is we aggregate uh, many of those, so you don't need to go fishing for rates. Say, oh, this one is a bit better, this one isn't, and so we provide them all at once, and you can choose the best rate or the one with the best policies and all that. That's our uh, the basis of our work. Other than that, we also offer a bit of extra privacy for our users. So there's a lot of these exchanges that won't accept Tor connections or I2P connections, but when you access them through us, you can do that. We do accept Tor and I2P.
All right, all right. So I did notice just from playing around in Stack Wallet that it does work a little bit differently, right? So it it feels like you're just sending instead of the regular kind of exchange process that we see with like Change Now, Majestic Bank that are also kind of integrated into the app. But it's very unique. So I kind of noticed immediately, okay, this works differently, but I'm not familiar with any services that work that way. I'm, fairly new to a lot of this. So that definitely stood out to me.
Yeah, it isn't actually that much difference. It's like we have many change nows or exchanges like change now, and we offer rates for all of them. Stack shows them all. Uh, so you can choose whichever one you want with the best rate or KIC rating or something.
And where do those different options come from? Hopefully I'm wording that correctly.
Oh yeah, we try to integrate as many reliable and trustworthy exchanges that do that service. So we work. There's a lot. So Exotics and we do have change now also fixed float. Uh, Let's Exchange, Swapples. We have a lot of those exchanges and they work perfectly. And so we aggregate them and offer them all for our users.
All right. So to get into maybe a slightly more but not too personal question, how did you get involved with this in the first place? How did Trocador come to be basically?
Yeah, actually, Morpheus, my co-founder, Dev, came up with the idea, and actually, our first draft was much simpler than what we do today. When we first thought about it, was to be a simple page and maybe one of the widgets from, I guess, Change Now was our first. So it was very simple. But then we started thinking, hey, maybe there are other services like this. So what if we offer our users the option to choose? There were already uh, well, a few other exchange aggregators that did that, but we found their service not to be that great. So their pages had a lot of JavaScript, and that's something that in the Monero community we don't really like it because it really facilitates tracking, so fingerprinting devices and stuff. And some of those didn't even allow you to do the trade entirely on the website. So you needed to you only saw the rates, and then you needed to go to the exchange's website to complete the trade. So we thought, hey, you know what? We can do better than that. So let's try. And it was a process of where we had to learn a lot because we weren't really familiar with a lot of stuff we needed to do, but worked out in the end. At least that's like what we like to think.
Yes. So you mentioned there, Monero, you have a bit of a, or Trocador itself has a bit of a history with Monero, correct?
Yeah, yeah. We came from the Monero community, so our first users were from the Monero community, and that's what really got us traction. So we got motivation and wanted to give a better service.
And what around what time was this?
Oh, we launched Trocador October, last October. Yeah,
Okay, so fairly new then.
yeah, yeah. Like a bit over 6 months.
I think that was around the time I remember it wasn't Discord, it was the Matrix server. I remember joining and I was like, I'm not really sure what this is, but I was invited to join.
Really?
Yes. So that was my first kind of exposure to the name. I had no idea that there was a relationship going on there and that you would eventually kind of, you meaning Trocador, I'm sorry, end up being integrated into Stack Wallet. So that was kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
we contacted Diego, I think in November or something, right at the beginning, but we were already thinking about how to do that and providing an API to so users could do it. I mean, we actually already had an API, but we didn't have many partners yet. So we were still working things out and ironing all the kinks. And we reached out to Diego and said, "Hey, would you like to integrate our service on Stack? That, that would be awesome." Yes, he showed interest, and a few months later, here we are.
And for anyone that's not aware, I'm sure most that would be watching this would be, but Diego is the kind of leader of the whole thing here. So he is the CEO of CypherStack, which are companies who develops Stackwell. So just a little background info for people that may be super new to kind of our little corner of this whole ecosystem. But it seems like you must have worked very fast then if this all kind of started coming together in last October, because right now, as of filming, it is May 2023.
Yeah, yeah, well, it's been the most we worked our entire lives. I mean, really, we had like days where we work 12, 14 hours after launch, and if something wrong happened and stuff, we had no time to go to sleep, only when it was fixed. So yeah, it was a couple stressful months in there.
And how many people are on your team, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it's just me and the other dad, Morpheus.
Oh, okay. So two people.
Yeah, I mean, we recently, I mean, last month we hired one of our friends part time to help with support because uh, we found that when we were doing support, we couldn't concentrate on, we couldn't focus on developing new features and stuff. So we wanted to get a bit of freer time to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do a little light support stuff on the side. Uh, it's a work in progress, obviously, trying to learn enough to be able to even help with a lot of the questions that come up. But being that I kind of handle most of the social media stuff, kind of end up
Yeah,
getting thrown in there trying to answer people's questions, mostly through Telegram. But
yeah,
yeah, I can see why that would be a lot when you're trying to do kind of the core work of things at the same time.
yeah. Can be a bit challenging, especially most times it's pretty simple things and you just need to check something, answer, maybe contact some exchange. But the thing is, it breaks your flow. So when you're trying to do some other work and it's stop even for a couple of minutes to do something else, it can not great, right?
Yeah, it kind of kills the flow.
Yeah.
Well, so what kind of is your sort of overall vision for Trocador outside of just this one integration? Let's take Stackwell out of the equation for just a second. How are you trying to scale this? Are there any other um, wallets, for example, that you're trying to work with at the moment? How are you planning on growing things right now, basically?
Yeah. Oh, we were already integrated on Cake Wallet, and we have a couple others we're talking with and process. We have um, an app that's about to launch. That's not Trocador's, but an independent team that decided to use our API and develop an app around that, so people could use our website, but on an app on their mobile phones. That's about to launch also. But the bigger picture, we want to develop this market that instant exchanges are. So especially when you're new and you just decided, oh no, I will stop using centralized exchanges and keeping my money there and stuff. It can be a bit overwhelming because, oh, okay, so now I want to swap some Bitcoin for Monero. How do I do it? Oh, do I need to send it back to Binance that I just left and do it and then transfer again? And there's the time restrictions on when you can withdraw after a deposit, and sometimes they don't let you withdraw Monero or stuff like that. And okay, so I want to use Binance. I'll use an instant exchange. But then you go search for them and oh, which one is better? And you find a lot of options and people are saying good stuff and bad stuff. Oh no, those guys are scammers. Oh no, they're wonderful. And when you are new, that's not really that's not great, right? You start thinking, oh, I don't know, should I do this or not? Will I do something wrong and lose my money? So our idea is if you have a service that aggregates all of them and you can see you can trust that service. So yeah, Trocador wouldn't keep an exchange listed if they were scammers, if they were stealing users' funds or something like that. So when you access Trocador, the exchanges are good, and if there's any problem in your transaction, we're there. So we can help with support. We talk with the exchange. If you never want to interact with the exchange at all, you can create all the trade using either Stack or website. And oh no, something goes wrong, you can call our support and we'll do the middle field there and we'll talk with the exchange for you. So we like to think it really eases that worry that new users could have. And as a side benefit, it really increases the privacy of the user.
Yeah, and kind of focusing on the privacy aspect a little bit more. You mentioned you mentioned the service working through Tor and things like that. What are there any other specific kind of privacy focused, um, I guess, facets to how Trocador works compared to your average other exchange service?
Yeah, surely. I mean, for starters, our whole website was made without any JavaScript. As I said, JavaScript is something that is not great for privacy because there's a lot of scripts and stuff that could be used for fingerprinting devices and stuff like that. So uh, we have a strict no script policy, so no JavaScript on our website. And if you use our website through Tor browser or something like that, you have basically the same experience uh, as if you used on Chrome or Firefox or anything like that. Besides the no JavaScript thing, uh, we don't track users, so we don't log their IPs, and the trade details are automatically excluded after 14 days or sooner. So if an user decides, oh no, my trade is completed, I don't want Trocador knowing what I did. No problem. There's a button on our, when you trade through our website, delete trade. We ask you to, if you are really sure, and if you click that, we have no way of knowing. We don't store your addresses or anything. The only thing we store is that a trade was made from that coin to that coin, and that's basically for accounting. So we don't have anything else.
So, one other question, kind of on the privacy topic here, is how do you think being as kind of privacy centric as you are has affected maybe how you've been able to do business? Has it been kind of a positive overall, or has it kind of presented some challenges?
Well, of course, it presented a lot of challenges, just like the no JavaScript thing required a lot of creative thinking about how to design the website and make things work. Because, I mean, without JavaScript, you can't change anything that's on the loaded page without refreshing the page. So yeah, there was a lot of work and thought gone there, so it could function smoothly and give a good user experience even without JavaScript. Other than that, it was a positive because, well, as I said, we started at the Monero community, and everyone in the Monero community is really worried about privacy and that. So for us to be focused on that and really worry about that was a really plus for us. And but yeah, it brings other challenges. I mean, like now we're growing and we want to add new features to Trocador, and for that we need to work with companies that uh, require know your customer and stuff like that. So we're incorporating a company and I'm going through all the all the stuff. So that isn't great for our privacy, but we decided that it's worth it
Yeah, of
because we do want to offer our users the best possible experience we can.
course. And being a smaller sort of business in the crypto space, how has that experience been for you, basically? And do you think, what kind of advice would you maybe give to anyone trying to come up in business in this space in the first place?
I'd advise them to try it. I mean, when we started this, we didn't expect anything at all. We thought, oh, who knows, maybe we'll get a trade or two for per day. And I mean, it started really as a hobby. We didn't expect it to grow or become anything serious. But yeah, it it was really great. I mean, you start it, you don't know where it will go, and it's always a pleasant surprise when things start working out and it really clicks, you know. And it's great. So just start it and try something. If it goes wrong, no problem. You learn something or two, and then you can try again. So yeah, that's my advice.
Would you say that the kind of community that's been building up around you and the Monero community in particular have been highly critical, or I guess critical in a constructive way, or has it been mostly just kind of cheering you on?
Uh, I mean, there's a lot of cheering, but most of everything we implemented after launch came from suggestions from users and the community. So people, perhaps not suggestions, but people came with some question, or they had some problem, they didn't understand something, or they wanted to do something and they didn't know if they could or not. So each of those things gave us an idea. So, oh, we could make it clearer by, I don't know, placing a tooltip here or there, or uh, requiring something here so less errors could occur. And or someone would suggest something and say, hey, that's actually a great idea. Let's do it. And so we did it. And so yeah, basically we had a lot of cheering, but I'd say like more than half of Trocador comes from the community suggestions and doubts and questions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's good too. So I guess I don't want to say that was a trick question, but I think that the best answer was actually what you said, the best case scenario, really, because not only do you get kind of the positive backing, but people that are actively engaging in trying to make the service better, not just for them, but I mean, for your sake too. I'm sure they want to see someone that kind of sprouted from the community succeed too.
Yeah, I mean, we love the reception we had, and when people tell us, "Oh, we love your service," I mean, that's awesome to us because I mean we really put a lot of work and a lot of love on our service, and I mean even support. Until a month ago, it was done by both of us, and we split time and said, "Oh, work this time," or "Oh, I won't be available tomorrow. Can you pick up the slack?" And yeah, so it's really great when users like what we're doing.
Absolutely. So one other question I wanted to go ahead and throw out there for you too is, are you looking at integrating any new coins into the exchange, supporting any more anytime soon that you know of?
Oh, yes, certainly. I mean, we mostly didn't have the time to implement all the new coins these last few weeks because we went to Monerotopia, and it's it's we're a small team and we were both there, so we couldn't get much work done. But yeah, and probably this week and next we'll start adding, I don't know, maybe 2 coins a week or something like that. That's something that's on our
Okay,
list.
that's a lot. That's fast.
Oh, adding a coin isn't that much trouble. We got the process running smoothly, and also, yeah, we could add like 2 coins a day if we wanted to. We just want to take things slowly to make sure it's working, and yeah, not overwhelm our users also because we wouldn't want to have 500 coins and as our coin selection menu doesn't use JavaScript. We can't really do a search right now, so we really have to think hard about which coins to add as to not overwhelm the user. Otherwise, there would be a huge scroll bar and you couldn't find the coins. So we need to work better on that. But yeah, we will probably add 1 or 2 coins a week for next month or so.
Wow, all
And we
right.
also always take suggestions from users, like people message us,
Any
hey, couldn't you add that coin or that other coin? And we say, sure. And when someone specifically asks for a coin, we do our best to integrate it as fast as we can.
any that you are able to kind of name coming up?
Uh, Not really sure. I mean, I have to go through. We have a list of coins that were asked for, and we didn't have the time to put them on. But I mean, just today, a user asked for Ethereum on the Arbitrum network, so we'll probably add that. And
Okay.
there's others also we'd want to add. I mean, Oxen we didn't yet integrate because I guess almost none of our partner exchanges had it, but we found one that has it now, so we'll probably add it too.
You must be doing a little bit of a bigger push recently because I also had a request on one of our socials, I believe, to include them into Stack Wallet. So they're
No,
getting the word out apparently.
yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else before we kind of wrap up here? I don't want to be too personally here. I do want to respect your privacy, but anything you'd like to be willing to share about your own kind of personal journey entering the space in the first place, not just with Trocador, but just cryptocurrency in general. What attracted you in the first place, and what was kind of the seed planted that ultimately ended up with you doing what you're doing now?
Ah, oh, that's a tough question. I mean, I'm involved with crypto for some time, but mostly on the sidelines because, oh, I bought some Bitcoin and some Monero and did some trading with some smaller coins, but very little stuff. So I wasn't really integrated in the community, and I was discussing a lot of stuff. And all. Morpheus had a lot more of that because he, I don't know if you guys know, but he's the one who designed and made Monero.net, the website that has Monero statistics and charts and a lot of that stuff. So he was uh, already in the Monero community for a few years, and it was a natural progression for him. For me, I already did a couple of things, but wasn't really involved. But when he invited me and I started doing it, and, well, basically I had to learn a lot of the languages because I didn't know anything basically. But yeah, it worked really well, and when you start doing it, it's great. I mean, we have other jobs that we did full time before Trocador, and we started wanting, oh no, I need to finish what I have to do, my job, so I can code a Trocador and do what. I mean, those were the most fun days because you took out the day and you, oh, this there's this thing I want to do, something, and you take the day and do it. Start coding, you have no hour to finish it, and then finally seeing it and it works and people like it. It's amazing.
So this is your day job, so to speak.
Yeah, I haven't abandoned completely my other job because I can't right now because people depend on me there, and I wouldn't want to let them down. But yeah, it's mostly Trocador now, my job.
That's great. Maybe at some point when things pick up a little bit more, maybe if you're not relied on too heavily on your other job, then maybe you can coast on this. But either way, I think people appreciate what you're doing right now and the time that you are willing to dedicate to this work whenever you have time. So, all right. Well, I think we have enough here to maybe wrap up for the day. But thank you, Al, for speaking with me for quite a while here and answering questions kind of all over the board. I hope they weren't too probing.
Oh, of course not. It was a pleasure being answering them and being here with you guys. And hey, anytime you want me here, just send the word and I'll be here.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure on our end as well. And we'll keep watching what you're doing. Obviously, I do a bit of testing as well, so I'll be testing out Trocador more. So that'll be
Sure.
exciting.
If you find anything, be sure to let us know. Oh, we
Absolutely.
do have
No,
a bug
no
bounty,
issues
so
yet.
if you find a bug, let us know.
I'll let you know. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was lovely meeting you.
Very much so. All right. Well, we will perhaps be in touch later then.
Sure.
All right. And for whoever's watching, thank you so much for tuning into the second episode here. We are still working out a few kinks, but we are doing our best. And we have a lot of people lined up to speak with in the space. So that part is going to be the easy part. So we will have more coming out very soon. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And I'll see you at the next StackCast.